What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Season 2 of Track Talkers.
Paula National, Fox Raceway, round one, let's go!
Let's go. We got Alex Ray in the studio, legendary Supercross racer, one of my favorite teammates that I've ridden with. It's good to have you at the show, Alex. I'm stoked.
Oh, dude, I'm I'm excited to be here, man. Like, drove up this morning, dude, like I said, you're one of my favorite freaking teammates, dude. Even Chiz the other day, whenever
I know, that was really cool.
That was really cool. I was like, yeah, dude. Like, that was the dream team. Me, you, and Chiz.
I know, when I seen him post that on Instagram, I was so stoked. Everybody else, welcome in as well. As always, Michael Antonovich, our SMX insider. We got him on the line. But let's get right into this thing, boys. Fucking Jett Lawrence is back. I doubted him like a little bit. I'm like, you guys can go look back at the video. I'm like, okay, Jett, I think it'll be solid if he gets third. I'm calling Chase Sexton for first, Eli Tomac for second, Jett Lawrence for third. I don't know why I doubted this kid, bro.
I don't know either. You know, I was right there with you because, like, you think last year, right?
Yep.
Hangtown makes that big mistake, but that was like the first time he had made some type of dumb move. Anything, right?
Yeah.
So just major growth from the guy, you know,
Yeah.
and just why did we doubt him?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's crazy to me. I took 9 months to heal from my ACL injury. You know what I mean? Like, it was really, really bad. I couldn't even barely dab my foot on the ground at 6 months. You know, and obviously they have new technology and there's new ways to do PT and there's new grafts and things like that. And I'm sure that Jett probably has a lot better doctors than I do. But I mean, the kid's back in 3 months, right, Anton? What's the time frame exactly on this?
Yeah, I think it's got to be no more than 4 months period, because it's, you know, we're at Glendale and that was very early in the season this year, one of the first 5 rounds. So
yeah.
You know, I ain't got a calendar in front of me, so I can't get too technical, but it's enough that although it wasn't a full tear of his ACL, it was a partial tear and all the stuff that they did.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically lived in Orange County to work with Johnny O and Doc G and everybody to just stay on the therapy regimen to get it done.
Yeah.
And he's back to it. And I talked with Johnny O yesterday morning in the Honda truck.
Yeah.
And he had said, you know, look, this is going to be an interesting time to see what we do with Jett. Everybody has seen him as the teenage prodigy that we built into this little monster, you know, with the big neck and all the muscle and everything like that. But this is the first time that he's had a major injury where we had to take some time off. Like with the thumb thing last year, he still got to train. He still got to do whatever. This is the first time he's pretty much been couch ridden. And to come back from that, you know, his body did change a little bit. Johnny O and Burner had to rebuild the machine, and they're going to be really excited to see how he does in his early 20s with what they're creating right now. After a little bit of a reset, some time to figure out, heal up, you know, take some time, recharge the battery, all of that stuff. And we saw it. They were worried. Like, you know, there was like, hey, you know, how's this going to go? We're confident, you know, he can ride really well and all of that, but it's just been him and Hunter doing laps together. What's going to be like when there's 39 other guys on the track, and he showed it yesterday.
Yeah, he definitely did. Like, this is what I was talking about with Ty and Mike yesterday, Alex, is like, where do you put this 1-1 on a scale of like, to show the viewers and even like acknowledge the viewers of like, this is monumental what he just did. To be able to come off a knee injury like this, miss Supercross, have the 2 best guys completely shit the bed at round 1. Not Webb didn't completely, but like bike blown up, not really his fault, but lost major points. Comes in, Eli Tomac is way healthier. All he's talking about all before the season is, oh, I'm ready to go. My bike's super sick. I've been riding the same setting for 3 weeks. Jett comes out and punks the whole field.
Bro,
1-1.
It's nuts.
Yeah, but like, how do you put that on a level? What, bro? Where do we put that,
dude? I mean, I don't even know, because it's like, it's so freaking mind blowing.
That's what I mean.
Sexton, Coop, like, they've been riding all year. They have that base. Jett doesn't have that base. Eli's had this same chassis for the last 2 years. You know, hasn't changed much on his bike.
Yeah,
and then you have, you know, that you hear the rumblings of like the Lawrence brothers, like, yeah, it was great last year at the end of outdoors, but it's like, it's not good now, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, just as well as I do, you can have a setting, but then whenever you get hurt, everything fucking changes, dude. You ride the bike different, you know, you're compensating.
Yeah.
You're just all of the things. So for him, he's coming in behind the 8-ball and he's just doing what he does. Hasn't missed a fucking beat, bro.
How though, dude? That's what I'm saying. I can't even tell you guys, and you know this, how many injuries that I've had where I come back and I'm like 10 spots worse, like contemplating if I even did shit to come back. And I'm like, okay, we got to start from ground zero. And he starts, this is where he starts, is a 1-1 at Paula. I mean, realistically, I know Tomac's there, but dude, Tomac had nothing for him.
What does this say for the rest of the season?
I say this says 22-0 again. I know that sounds crazy, but it's a possibility. It's not a for sure by any means, but what Jett did at Paula yesterday, that's a possibility. I mean, obviously it is because he went 1-1, but still though, like he is good enough to do that because every time that I seen Tomac make a charge in that second moto, I don't think Tomac has ever witnessed a time where he put on his hardest work and somebody just said,
Didn't crack.
Nope. Sorry, buddy. Not going to happen. Jett just went, oh, I hear you. Whop. And you're like, oh, shit. What the heck, dude? How did you even do that?
All right, well, let me ask you this. How much of it was bike and track and Jett's style of how he rides? Because that track, you know, you've ridden there.
Yep.
You know how shitty that place is.
Yes.
Acceleration bumps, you have to get creative. You have to hop bumps. And it's the worst place ever.
It sucks.
So the way that Eli rides is not the proper way, I would say, to ride Paula. No way, shape, or form.
It's not the
arm
horsepower
pump city.
track. Yes, it is not the horsepower track.
Jett is the perfect example of how you ride Paula.
Yes.
So how much of that is playing into this factor here?
Well, I think that's the weird thing is that every single Honda guy did good. And that's kind of what I'm interested in. You know what I mean? It's like, how did Chance Hymas look like shit in Supercross? Joe Shimoda look like shit in Supercross? Not that they're shitty, but just that they look like shit compared to what we expected, right? Then all of a sudden, every Honda guy just goes out and fucking rips at Paula. Every one of them.
Lars comes into the truck. All right, dude, half of Japan is here. You guys better be on the fucking podium.
I don't know, but that to me says that that's a lot of bike, you know, and every single one of them that I asked was like, oh, we got a lot of setup work to do. It's not there. Guess what, dude? You might think that, but I don't think you have as much setup. I think that 25 Honda is the outdoor bike.
I don't know, man.
What do you mean you don't know?
But that's another thing too. Jett's bike looked different every single time he got on the track.
Yeah.
It looked different. So obviously
that means they're chasing something.
They're chasing something and they're not there yet. So honestly, that's even worse for the competition.
Yeah. Yep. Well, Jett smacked him.
He smacked him.
What he had said to you, Adam, in the press conference where they're just going for incremental tenths.
Yes.
You know, just that little bit. Maybe it was Hunter that said that. One of the two.
It was Hunter, but either way.
It was Hunter.
They're the same.
But yeah, just in that little bit of stuff that you're trying to find. And like, I mean, to have the awareness of, well, did the bike do something that different? We have data to show for it. You are one of two people that are the only ones that are able to tell us this.
Yeah.
You know, they've been doing a lot of Hunter's really carried a lot of the testing that they've been doing through the last few weeks.
Without a doubt.
And I know the Honda guys have definitely been putting their effort into this. This has not been like, hey man, we're going to just wait until we get to the first races and race through it.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of travel and a lot of time spent to get this bike dialed in.
Yeah. And you can tell you can tell Hunter does it all because Jett, I asked him like both kind of the same question about like, hey, where are you at with the bike? Blah, 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 blah. Jett really didn't say anything. And Hunter was like Mr. Detail, like Mr. Articulating everything that's going on. So clearly Hunter is like, okay, I'm going to test this stuff. I'm going to do this stuff. And then Jett's like, yes or no.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You know, and that goes back to, I'm sorry for cutting you off, A-Ray, but that goes back to too, I was seeing the Gypsy Tales thing. I watched the Gypsy Tales pod where Dean Wilson went to the dog pound and he was talking about how loose their program is, you know, and that just goes back to tell me how much fucking talent Jett has. You know what I mean? In his pinky. He just goes out and does whatever moto whenever and gets it and able to get it done. So it's like, how good does the bike even need to be? Jett's just that good.
Well, just think about it too. Like, think about it from this angle. They have two guys, from what I hear, I may not know this, but they run similar settings, right? They both like the same thing, or that's how Darren sort of set that up. Imagine you and Ty racing Supercross. You guys come out, have one suspension tech, and you have 4 sets of suspension or whatever.
Yeah.
How much quicker you could have got to where you wanted to be if there was 2 of you.
Yes. And then you can go, oh, I like this. And one guy's going in this direction, one guy's going in this direction. So you're finding the good ends of both. And then you can kind of melt that together to find the best of both worlds. And it just cuts the time in half, especially when you got a guy that's like your brother that you trust. That's a whole nother thing that's a big deal, right?
Similar in speed, similar riding style, you know, riding the same track, you know, all of it. I think they found a way to shortcut a good setting. Like, with 2 riders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what the boys probably did, though? They probably cracked open a Twisted Tea after the race. If you guys haven't, go to your local gas station, grab a Twisted Tea, partied up with the boys. The half and half is the absolute shit. We love it. Smack the competition, Twisted Tea.
I love those things too much, bro.
Yes, too much. Lethal. Okay, Anton, we want to get into a little bit of the behind the scenes. One of the big things that we've seen was definitely a little interesting. Jett has security all weekend, right?
Yeah,
after the
I think
race,
I might have been the first person to notice that, because like it kind of caught me off guard, and then I went and asked somebody else, like, "Hey, have you noticed this?" And everybody, like the 3 people that I'd said that to initially, they were like, "What? No." And then when you started seeing it, it was like, "Oh my God, you can't not see it."
Yeah, totally.
You can't not see it.
So if you guys haven't, obviously everybody in the industry knows, Lucas Myrtle, his ex-agent, posted a video. I don't know if it was like a sob story in a way. I really don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, we're just giving you the information. Posted a story, brought up an old ass video, which I don't know, you know,
to me, it's
what you're doing with a video that old. Either way, it is a little bit for sure. Put out a video with Jett doing racial slurs, and then in the press conference, the pre-race press conference, Jett addressed it quickly. You know, it definitely, I don't think that he wants to go into as much detail, but he did address it, which I think was good, because we heard a lot of silence after that. A lot of drama going over in that camp. So that's a whole nother thing that he's able to get done. I mean, what's your guys' thoughts on that whole situation? Him addressing it at the race, waiting till the race. I mean, pretty gnarly. And then having to have security.
I mean, to be honest, stuff happens in this sport all the time, you know, and it'll happen one week, and then in 2 weeks later, everyone forgets about it, you know? As long as you're winning, I feel like people forget about all the bad stuff, to be honest. You know?
It is kind of crazy how that shit works, right?
Right?
Yeah. Pretty wild.
I like that he apologized. I like that he addressed it, but I also like that he kind of like, I mean, I don't know. He sort of just stared at it in the face and just like owned up to it. Like, hey man, I was wrong. I apologize. Everything. I mean, he didn't turn his comments off, nothing. And you could definitely tell after he won, the emotions of just everything. You could just tell, like,
weight,
right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it doesn't bother him. It doesn't bother him. But you could tell after the race, all of the emotions, everything he's been going to.
Yeah.
It just flushed all out of him, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Anton?
Okay, so I agree with you boys on all of it, because like from a PR perspective, best way to handle it. If he gets on his, you know, Instagram and just does a self-facing camera on his phone and says all this shit, and then every Instagram channel is reposting that blows it way out of proportion.
Yeah.
He got in front of the people that needed to hear it,
in
front of the entire industry, said his piece in his Honda uniform and all that stuff, and just did it. And like, hey man, this stuff, it's not good. It's a fuck up by all levels,
Yeah.
But he's not the first one. He's not the first one that's done something like that. Like, today in motorsport history, Kyle Larson is getting ready to go do the unthinkable to race 1,100 miles. And realistically, like, nobody likes to hear it. He wouldn't be able to do that if he didn't do that in 2020 and fucking completely upset his career. Like, it's weird how life happens and guys move on and people, you start winning, people don't even think about the bad stuff. Like you said, right?
Yeah. And
so then, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So then, to see how all of that went. And then we really do have to talk about the security guard thing because, in first moto, he didn't get his own sighting lap, which I thought was interesting. I mean, he's arguably one of the biggest guys in the sport, and you don't send him out on his own single lap flyer to go around there.
Yeah.
And the security guard dude was like, by him for everything. There's Instagram videos of him signing autographs, and he's right there. Some little girl went up to get her hat signed.
And this motherfucker,
and homie
too,
is behind it with the baklava. No, yeah. And, he is ready to go.
Real deal. Like, this was not
and
just a
like
regular
nice
ass security guard, bro.
Bro,
because I was in the Honda truck with him. He seemed cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he was there to
cool
do his
till
job.
he needed to break your neck, bro.
And here's the other thing that needs to be pointed out. I don't think the family organized this. I think that someone other than them, someone other than their representation, maybe some people to put on the events were like, hey, let's just help you out today. Let's make sure that you have everything you need.
Yeah.
So then to have all of that stuff go on through the race, through the morning, all of that other shit. And then, like, I hate to take away from Jett's riding because I sometimes I feel like all I ever do is just talk about the off the bike stuff that doesn't matter.
Oh,
but
it matters.
Like, he went out and does a 2-second a lap faster lap than anybody in his first practice. And then you're like, okay, he's back. He's got it. No stress.
I text a 7 Deuce. I'm like, bro, hasn't skipped a beat.
Wild. That's what I got a text from Alex in the morning. Just hadn't missed a beat. Just like, dude, and to Anton, just to go back to what you said, and we'll continue. As soon as I seen Jett first practice, I literally walked up to somebody. I'm like, don't be surprised if that motherfucker whole shots both motos and goes 1-1. As soon as I seen him first practice, there was no hesitation with the knee. It was forward, forward, forward. As soon as I seen him wanting to go that way, I was like, y'all are fucked, dude. Welcome back. Here we go. Okay, go ahead, Anton.
So but I mean, that's exactly what I mean. And you know how good that probably had to feel? Like, we saw all the emotion come out when he wins Moto 2.
Yeah.
But just to know, put your helmet on, put your fucking goggles on, and go out there and do your job. And do your job better than anybody else does. And then security guard ain't there the rest of the day. Jett's just in his flow. Like, he's just doing his job and going through the motions, and all the Honda people are around him, and he did the job afterwards. And that shit had to feel so good. And so then this is the next thing that kind of gets into it, because he mentioned it in the press conference, and we talked about this before we started recording. He mentioned the Painkiller thing multiple times. And for a kid to be in his early 20s like he is, this is not mentioned a lot by the racers. Like, we know you guys have to get on him. Vinny was very open this year about, what he had to get off of after his arm surgeries. We know a lot of professional guys that have struggled with pain pill addiction afterwards.
Yep.
When a phenom of the sport gets put on the stuff for his knee, and who knows what he was on for how long, and he's openly talking about how he's got to get off of it. Can you boys, has 2 guys that have had to be, have a script. How do you do it? What is that shit like to get off those?
It's dedication.
It's fucking tough.
Yeah, it's tough because when I had my knee injury, when I woke up for my ACL, it was more pain waking up from my ACL than it was from my femur. And I don't know if that was because the nerve block didn't work or what happened, but the ACL surgery was more than my femur. And I've been on Percocet, it's got to be 5 to 10 times now for surgeries and shit. And every time I get off of it, I'm up for at least 72 hours straight with no fucking sleep. You know what I mean? And that's how addicted my body gets to it, where like I'm just up for no fucking reason.
I mean, dude, honestly, like I struggled with it, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't tell a lot of people.
Yeah.
I struggled. I crashed a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I broke my femur. I forgot what year it was. 2014. I broke it really bad. When I was training in Palm Springs. I broke it on
Yep.
And dude, you know, the doctor screwed up the surgery. I couldn't walk for six months. You know, I was walking with a cane, trying to walk, couldn't do it. I was in so much pain. You know, I'm like, why am I not getting any better? Why am I not getting any better? And then, like, you know, that thing where like you run out because you're in so much pain, and you try to get more, and they tell you no, and then you try to find it other ways.
Yeah, totally.
You know, like it's fucking nuts. You know, I mean, it took like 3 surgeries in a year for me to just be able to get back racing again.
Yes,
you know,
totally.
And like lost myself there for a bit. I just remember like going to bed, just fucking like crying like a little bitch. You know, and like. Just
well,
like,
that's what
fuck?
happens too,
you know?
on those painkillers. Is like
you get all emotional,
you get all
fucking
angry, you get super high and low. You know, and then too, what it does to your body. Like, dude, I get really, really bad like eczema, and like I get super dehydrated and I'm all fucked up. Like, it's bad, dude. And like the worst part about that stuff is like you're in pain, right? Like from the surgery, and you take these Percocet. They're so fucking good. You are literally laid the fuck out, chilling on like the best Percocet fucking high you've ever been on, just chilling with whatever. You've been in pain constant. You're just suffering 24/7 because your leg or whatever hurts so bad. And every time you take a Percocet, you can finally like relax and you have some kind of relief. And then your body gets used to that relief over and over. And it's not normal because we go through the gnarliest injuries. So everything, all of our pain is so exaggerated for such a long time. And then after you do something for 2 weeks and your body's used to getting that happiness and that high from it, you get addicted to it.
Oh, dude, straight up.
And whether you're personally addicted to it, I don't care. Your body physically gets addicted to what's going in there. And then to get off of it, I literally have to go like, I know I'm still in pain, but I know if I want to ride, I have to stop, because you can't exercise and do the shit you need to do athletically and be on painkillers. It just doesn't work.
No.
You're just fucking fucked.
Yeah. 100%.
Excuse my language, but like you're toast.
Yeah. No, and I agree. But like after surgeries, you know, after that, I'm like, yo, you know, first couple days I'll do it to sleep, and then after that, just ibuprofen.
Exactly.
I'm just like, yo, I'm not a pussy.
Yes, as soon as you can get on the ibuprofen,
boom,
get on the ibuprofen.
Just deal with it.
Yes, the longer you're on opiates or whatever you want to call painkillers, I don't know what it's called, the longer you are on them is the harder it takes to get off.
The deeper the hole gets.
Exactly. So the sooner you can get off of it, the better.
Yeah.
Anton, what's your thoughts on the situation?
Can I tell you boys, thank you for the just complete honesty. Like, A-Ray, that was, wow, dog. I had no idea about some of that stuff, Alex. And like, I've lost a couple of my super close best friends to like drug overdoses, like dead because of pills and shit like that. And so for you to say that, Alex, like,
no, I mean, mine wasn't
super. I respect all you guys for doing it. No, but like, yo, dude, you guys are threading the needle. And like, it is expected for you to just shake that shit off. Like, yo, I broke my femur, 3 months, gotta be back on the bike. No worries. Gotta look like a fucking superhero.
Yeah.
But like,
bro, that's the truth, bro.
Dude.
And like, you know how many people just heard what you guys both said that are probably going to be in the comments that either went through this themselves, not even because they crashed the dirt bike. Like, yo, I work a fucking concrete job and my back hurts and I got to this and this because my back hurts every fucking day.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And like, that kind of struggle is so real, you know, and like, we know that it's not just blue collar America that feels that. We know that it's not just bad neighborhoods that feel that. We're talking fucking multi-million-dollar athletes that still got to deal with the same thing.
A lot of people don't understand. Like I get it. We raced dirt bikes for quite a long time, right?
Yeah.
We lived a great life, but we also sacrificed and put our fucking asses on the line every single Saturday. And the shit that we had to go through, normal people that do it 9 to, because I'm a normal guy.
Yeah.
I'm an 8 to 4 guy. You know,
Yeah.
like I go to the office every day.
Yeah.
The shit that I used to have to deal with and the nerves I had to feel and the pain I had to go through, it ain't fucking nothing, bro.
Dude, it's nothing. That's what I tell my wife that all the time now. I'm like, bruh, if I can hit a triple, what the fuck is a podcast, bro? I'll get whatever. Come
That's what
on,
I'm
baby.
saying.
Let's go.
Yo,
You
like
know what
for
I
me,
mean?
like I can sell some O'Neal gear.
Yeah,
you know what I
let's
mean?
go. Who do I need to approach?
Like, yo, if I don't sell O'Neal gear, I'm not gonna go to the hospital in the back of an ambulance. You know what I mean?
It's not going to cost me $10,000.
Yeah.
Like-
I ain't scared to get an interview, bro. I lined up with 40 guys going to the first turn at Paula.
Straight up.
There's nothing that compares to the level of nerves, anxiety, and shit you have to put your body through to get to that line.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep this thing rolling, boys. I think we nailed that on the head. This next segment is brought to you by Dirt Trick Sprockets. You can get 300 to 500 hours out of a Dirt Trick sprocket. They're made in the United States of America. Best sprocket you can get. They put his sprocket on an adventure bike, right? Did like 1,200 miles, took it off that bike and put it on his new adventure bike and kept going.
Bro, those things don't wear out. Okay, so Derek Rankin,
Yes.
my old mechanic, who's like, I think he's a team manager, engine guy, or whatever at Freddie Noren's team.
Yeah.
They run dirt tricks.
Yep.
The reason they run dirt tricks is because we ran dirt tricks in 2016, and that guy loves those sprockets because he never had to change those freaking sprockets, dude. They were so good.
Dude, they really are. Dirt Trick Sprockets. Go to dirttricks.com. Get some sprockets today. We really appreciate you guys supporting the sponsors that support the show. Let's get into the 450 class. Number one subject in my eyes, the whole Chase Sexton ordeal. Okay. Did the bike cut out? Did he hit the brake? Did he click a false neutral? What the heck happened, boys?
I mean, dude, he had to have hit neutral, right? That's what it looked like. But,
Dude, how are you in first gear? There's no way you're second to first.
bro, he has a factory transmission, bro. He probably doesn't even have first gear. He probably just has neutral and second.
Yeah, but do you think he even has, do you know how hard the neutral is to get?
I mean, he probably just barely, dude, he had so much going through his fucking head. He sees the front guys, he's losing toe. He's losing toe of Jett.
Bike's working like shit.
No goggles.
That's a whole nother can of worms. Like, why the fuck did you change your fucking motorcycle from last year?
I know.
Why?
Bro, it looked like the softest, most deflectiest, worst
But that's how he
thing.
likes his motorcycle, though.
Dude.
He likes it in Supercross like that. I'm like,
bruh, I don't know, dog.
not us, bro.
Not us, bro.
Not us.
Like, whatever Sexton had setup-wise,
Ain't it.
He was fighting for his life to get that bike to work.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's his doing, because that's his setup, or not. Whatever you want to call it, it wasn't working.
I think it's just a mix of everything, right? There was so much shit probably going through his mind, already threw his goggles off.
Yeah.
And he's freaking taking roost from all these guys.
Yeah.
Like, am I going to lose an eye? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then
Well, that was the thing, though. He wasn't taking roost.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He had
wasn't?
no one in front of him.
No,
he had
but-
no
but-
one in front of him for that whole thing.
they even mentioned it too. Have you ever tried to ride with your goggles off?
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Your
But you're
eyes
still
are
getting
just-
roosted.
Your eyes are just watering, like streams of like liquid are coming out of the side of your
Yeah.
face. And he did it like with 10 minutes in, 5 minutes in.
The fact that he was going that fast, I understand why he didn't pull in early.
Yes.
Because like everything's still bunched up the first couple laps,
Yes,
right? So if
absolutely.
he'd have pulled in, he would have been back in the 30th and
Yeah.
had to have worked his way all the way up. So
Yep.
yeah, give it a couple laps, build that gap, all of that. But I just think so much stuff going through his mind, like he just had to have just brain farted. Maybe he landed off the jump and his foot, because like he scrubbed and it looked like he was a little forward. Maybe he just landed on the rear brake with his foot.
No, he didn't,
So-
because we talked about this. Ty and I talked about this. I'll let you talk in a second, Anton. But I
Yeah, no
didn't
worries.
see the rear tire lock up at all. There was when you watch the landing, the rear tire doesn't slow down in any motion. I watched this thing 100 times. And I thought the bike died initially. Like, I thought the bike died. But if the bike died, right, wouldn't it have stalled? Like, and then the tire would have slowed? Like, that's something else you would have seen, right? Because if the bike dies, then it would have went chick, 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 and the tire would have locked up like a little bit. But the tire just kept rolling, and then when the bike was on the ground, the tire was continuously spinning as well. You know, so it had to be some kind of weird false neutral or something funky. Like I don't know, because he didn't hit the rear brake because the tire did not lock.
Had to have hit neutral then.
It had to have been, right?
Had to have.
Or the bike stuttered just for like.
How far out is he from the orange? Like, does he even show up on an orange bike ever again?
I'm honestly wondering that, because now I've heard rumors that more has gotten done at Kawasaki, but I don't know. Nothing's going to come out for a while, or maybe it'll come out this week and maybe he won't even show up on an orange bike.
Yeah. I mentioned this.
Do you think it's that bad? Because I heard he went to the pit, hucked his helmet across after and left.
Just straight Tom Brady the helmet?
Yes. Which is understandable. The worst nightmare for us as a rider is a bike malfunction that you're out of control of. So right now, think about the Chase Sexton situation as Chase Sexton, for all you fans out there. So you come off a Supercross, you're going the fastest you've ever gone. You get beat, you get demoralized that you lost the championship that was totally in your hands. All you had to do was do better at Dallas. One time. That's it. Could have had the championship. Goes into outdoor where he has the #1 plate. He's coming in as the favorite, right? He's the only one not hurt. He's coming off some momentum. He's got all that shit. He goes out to first practice, qualifies 10th. So now he's frustrated as shit because the bike's working like shit. Then he goes out second moto, tries his absolute ass off, only qualifies second to a guy that's been on the couch with a torn ACL that he absolutely can't stand. That's really like his arch nemesis, right? Then you go out to Moto 1, you get roosted in the face. I heard a rock like jacked up his lens, so that's why he had to rip his goggles off. Then you land on the landing and your bike clicks a false neutral or something weird happens. You completely wad up, get the wind knocked out of you. Your fucking visor's off, so you're just bullet head. You ride back to the freaking pit. You're already talking to Kawasaki, right? Who knows what's going on behind the scenes, if he's signed or not signed yet. Where's your mind at? Are you still on the KTM? Are you on to next year? Then you go back to the pit. You're so frustrated with absolutely everything going on. You know your dad's going to be fucking pissed. You just lost the outdoor championship in your mind, even though you didn't, because you just completely zeroed out on Moto 1. You fucking huck your helmet across the thing and you're just, I'm over it.
Bro, that... fuck. Dude, that was a lot.
You know what I'm saying?
I was just like, yeah, dude. 100%. You hit the nail on the head. But like, the 18 has to live rent-free in that dude's head.
Oh my God, right now 100%. It's over, dude.
Because, dude, like, you think the gate drops... He's freaking throwing his freaking goggles off, dude. Eat shit. And then he goes back to the truck, hucks his helmet, and he's watching the TV while he's getting getting undressed, dude. He's fucking out of there, dude. He's halfway back to freaking Florida by the time the second motor's over.
He just booked a new flight.
He's watching the freaking thing, and he just sees Jett 1-1, dude.
Oh,
the one guy that he has not beaten straight up in a moto yet.
Yes.
The only time he beat him is when Jett crashed out at Hangtown last year.
Yes. And it's like, Anton, please chime in on this right now.
Like, he has to go to sleep thinking about that shit every fucking night. Like, I just want to beat the 18.
Yes. Every night.
He's beat everyone else.
That makes me, so that I was thinking about this on my drive home today. Just like, how is he going to be remembered on all this, like as defending champion, as all of that stuff? And this is the worst case scenario. And when he crashed, like I was standing on the other side of the mechanics area. So he crashed, goes into the thing, and I'm watching the whole time like, all right, well, like this is taking forever. This is taking forever. Are you going back out? You going back out? I thought they were working on the bike because, after he had been doing practice starts, Jade had taken the crossbar cover, and this is like trivial.
Yeah.
But I watched Jade like move some handlebar stuff around. Like,
oh my God.
I thought that
put
was
a light
weird
on his bars,
the starting
dude.
line of practice starts way earlier in the day. So I was like, all right, they're just going to tweak the front end. He's going to go back out. And then he's still in the pits. I was like, all right, guy, like maybe you're going to do second moto, and he doesn't come out for second moto. So then, and like, I hate to jump topics all the way. I have been instantly flashed into Cooper Webb's mind, and I was like, fuck, my summer's done. All my SMX work dialed, because nobody's going to score those points if he's out. Like,
yep.
I'm good.
I mean, dude, he lost 50 points. 50. That's a lot.
To Jett in one weekend, bro. That's 2 Supercross wins.
That's 2 Supercross seasons points for us, bro. No, but you know why?
Oh,
I know
damn.
that he has an 18 just living rent free, just keeping his ass up at night every night. Because I felt the same fucking way about Chiz 2019. Because bro, I used to smoke his ass during the week.
Yes,
bro. I had the sprint speed. And then get to the weekend and the dude would just fucking disappear. In the main event, I would just watch him ride off
into the distance. Like,
and there was nothing I could do.
Nope.
And I know, because it used to keep me up, and I'm like, I know, like, Sexton has to be thinking about this. Like, as much as he doesn't want to, he has to.
Yeah, as much as you can say whatever you want, dog. The only thing left on the pedestal for Chase Sexton is to prove that he's the best, and the only way to do that is to beat Jett. Straight up, mono e mono.
Do you think it's one of those things where, like, he wants it so bad that it's
too bad.
Fucking him too much?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Bad. Yeah.
Which is just who Chase Sexton's going to be, because that's how bad he wants to win. I mean, listen to him after the Dallas press conference when he farmed it. He had the win done at the Triple Crown, but still had to try to make a pass on Webb for the moto win in the last one to prove a point that he was the fastest. But, so that's how...
That gets into the question. When, like, he's still young. Like, Chase is still pretty young.
He is.
So how many fucking learning lessons does he have to get before you, like, okay, well, that was another 2% that you got to back it down. All right, now you got to learn from this one. Now you can't get overwhelmed in this kind of situation here, and here. Because, like, even back to the crash, I'm with you, Adam. I don't know what happened, but I remember standing by that jump yesterday and watching only a few guys click a gear down to go into those braking bumps, and I was like, damn, that's hectic. Like, you're definitely going to change the whole way the bike's going to react, because you both know the RPM changes, the suspension changes, all of that stuff. That is a perfect example when he's in slow-mo of how a downshift, or how when the bike reacts the wrong way, how the suspension reacts different, and all of these things, because he instantly goes over the bars. Like, they had been landing long over that jump all day, because you're carrying so much speed. But when the bike's ready to take it, the suspension and everything, all of the energy feels the same, it's just going to take it on. But when the engine thinks that it needs to drop 15 miles an hour because it drifted down a gear, and the fucking rear wheel doesn't do what it's supposed to do, you're going on your face.
You're toast, yeah.
Have you ever done that?
Oh, yeah. Multiple times.
Like what Chase did?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 100%.
I did it on a step on, 3 on, 3 off, or 3 on off. Just, just fucking endoed into the face.
That's how I broke
Dustin
my
Pipe's house, bro. Just done.
Yeah.
KO'd, bro.
Same.
It is the worst. There's nothing you can do. You're fully forward, fully momentum committed, and then there's nothing there, and you're just toast.
Yeah.
This is the weird part, though, boys, and I want you guys to, like, go back and listen to it, because I really can't figure out what happened, and this is the last time I'm going to touch on it. But when you click a false neutral, your bike goes a little bit, right? It goes ring, something for a second to let you know that it clicked neutral, right? No rev. All you can hear is Tomac's bike in that situation. You can only hear Tomac. And the whole situation is super weird. I would really like to know what happened. Because usually if you click a false neutral or something, your bike will go for a second. Because you needed the power to go forward, so you're on the gas. Because if he wasn't going forward more, he wouldn't have been that overly committed, thinking that there was going to be throttle there.
Luckily, he's good with the media, so I think that we'll find out if he comes back.
Maybe.
Oh, you're gonna find out, like, a little something, but look, put it this way. KTM knows to the fucking foot on the track where that thing messed up with the data package that they have, the GPS stuff, all the sensors. That are on
And too,
those
with
things.
how sensitive the whole KTM program is right now, they can't be having no bike issues. Nope. Okay, let's move on from the Chase Sexton thing. I want to talk about Eli Tomac. Good to see Eli back. I thought he rode well. But the biggest thing that I seen that's really frustrating, that kind of like demoralized me, I seen the beast mode push. And it is Paula. It's not his best race. It's not his best track. But I seen the beast mode push, and I seen a Jett just push too. You know what I'm saying? Like it was kind of like, I don't think Eli Tomac has ever been in a situation where he wanted somebody and did everything he could and then couldn't get him. You know, that was.
I don't think that was Eli beast mode.
I saw. I think
he was charging. I think he was charging. He had some good sections, but he didn't put the entire track together.
No,
he didn't have an entire track put together like he would Hangtown
agree with that. Yeah,
or the Glen Helen that year. He didn't have his full lines put together. He was, it was like notchy.
One half of the track he was really good at, and then the back half he was like not so good.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
I just think that going back to what I said about the track, I just think, maybe the way it was prepped, the way the dirt is, the acceleration bumps. I mean, he's one to get creative with the track. I just don't think he's as creative as Jett.
He gets more creative with the throttle twist. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Modulator.
So here's the question for both of you guys. Does he win Hangtown? Or does Jett go 1-1 again? You know what I mean? Because this is the two things that we know. This is the two things that we know right now, right? If Chase Sexton does come back, which I know this sounds crazy, but it's a 50-50 toss-up if he rides that KTM.
I think he smoked his head a little bit.
And I think he jacked up his wrist. Because I seen him, the Whiskey Throttle video, he was like untaping his wrist and like looking at his wrist. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Because the wrist could hurt a little extra right now for no reason. But either way, Chase Sexton last year, 40th to 1st. Eli Tomac, probably one of the most incredible rides we've ever seen in motocross history at Hangtown. But can you beat right now the most peaked out Jett Lawrence? And not only that, can you beat Hunter Lawrence, who is very, very good and now has a little bit of confidence, which is all Hunter needs to be better and better every week?
Need to start.
Oh, man.
Got to get a start.
He's got to get a start.
He's got to get a start because he was 7th in that first one and he was fucked. That first 5 minutes, it's over. You're just setting, like, no disrespect to RJ. RJ rode great, but you can't spend 3 minutes behind RJ when homeboy's putting clean laps down like that. The second one was awesome and they totally squared up. And like we talked about it before we got going, Eli's not afraid to eat roost. He stayed in behind Jett's lines all day yesterday. I watched him just take it. So he's not afraid to do it. And I know he knows the Hangtown thing. And maybe this was, all right, well, I need to just go get that first one out of the way, did the work that I needed to do.
Yep.
The pace is there. And if I can stun this kid one time, because like what we said, every time Jett did kind of like have the gap close in, Jett blew it back up a bit.
I know.
But at the same time, dude, if you shop that kid one good time and he doesn't have a counter for you and you're able to control the line, what's he going to do? Is he going to bump you? Is he going to bump Eli Tomac? And then we're all just jumping up and down on the side of the track, ready to see that happen?
Yeah.
I think if Eli has a chance to beat Jett, it's going to be Hangtown,
Colorado.
Southwick, that type of track.
Yeah.
Like something that he's had a good experience on. And this is the only one that Jett's had a bad experience on. If you think about it.
That's true.
So this is true. The only one that Jett could be like, I don't know if I want to go here, like.
And two, that was a real dipshit maneuver, what he did.
But at the same time, going back to Chase Sexton, Jett makes a mistake. He learns from it right there. Boom.
Yeah.
right?
I know
that's why
it's true.
Chase Sexton, he makes a mistake,
Has to make it again.
has to make it about 5 more times, and then he learns from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't do that if you're racing the 18 the way you are.
Frustrating. Definitely frustrating.
Okay, so then
it's gonna be a tough season to beat
22-0, bro.
Hey, Ray,
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought the Chase thing back up while we're talking about Eli, because it completely pertains to all of that. You guys both remember how fucking miserable he was during the Kawasaki years, where everybody's like, he's got to get this title. He's got to win a title. When's he going to win a title? If he doesn't win a title, he's getting old. Da, 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 da. And Kawi was vocally putting that pressure out there. And then, like, he was starting to hate all of the media people, rightly so, because they just kept talking about, like, when's he going to do it? When's he going to do it?
Yeah.
And then he did it, kind of lost that pressure. Everything got good again. Does it again on the Yamaha, like, establishes himself. Eli is riding so free now because, like, he is a content man. Like, he's got 3 kids. He's good. Chase doesn't have that solidified thing yet because everybody that he's gone against, like, aside from the Supercross championship that he lost when Eli blew his Achilles out, and I hate to hate on Chase like this, and then racing Hunter for the outdoor title last year. I know.
It's just, it is what it is. This is the things that happen.
It is what it is. He went, everybody that you need to, like, consider all timers with the complete package. You know, Jett's got the complete package of speed, talent, consistency, mental sharpness. Cooper's got mental sharpness like a motherfucker, and speed and consistency. And Eli's just a monster.
Yeah.
Chase has been beaten by all 3 of those guys. You know what I mean? And until he beats all 3 of them heads up, and really only needs to beat Jett to shut everybody up.
Yeah.
He's going to keep getting classified of, like, what's he missing? What's he missing? Until Chase in his own world is just like, yo, I don't give a fuck what you guys say. I'm content. I'm one of the fastest in the world. I just need to go out and channel it. That's what he's got to do.
Yeah. But Anton, since you're like in it, you know, both of you guys are asking these questions at the races and everything. Say if Chase does go to Kawi, does he become who Eli was, closed off, pissed off because of that pressure?
I was talking to Ty about that too the other day. Kawasaki is a do or die organization, and I'm sure they're throwing the kitchens off.
Environment.
Yeah,
corporate is the best way to put it. It is Bruce and Dan have that thing. It is part of a big, big, big machine, and they take great care of their employees, and they run that shit like a business, and they have a definite expectation of what they're going to get done and how you're going to get it done. They're going to work with you on the bike, but if they sign you, they expect you to win.
Yes, and that's the thing. And if they see one inkling of you not going to be a championship contender next year, you're out.
Later.
See ya. So that's a hard thing to do too. But, you know, that's kind of how Chase and his dad operate. They want the best shit. And if Chase thinks he's got the best shit, then he will win. But here's the flip side to it. You know, and I know there's something to this sport. Okay. You got to have a good bike, but you also got to be the fastest guy. And it's really hard to differentiate from, do I have a good enough bike to win, or am I good enough to win? You know what I'm saying? And do you need to work on yourself, or do you need to work on the bike? And that's a hard pill to swallow, one, and a hard balance to have. Right?
Yeah. No.
And is that Kawi that much better than the KTM, where he's going to get on another new bike with another new setup and get it done?
It takes 18 months.
Boom. So we're going to go back. He's going to go to Supercross and suck again. I mean,
and that's the thing too with Chase. I think it's just more of a mental thing because, like, dude, his bike, it seemed perfect at the end of outdoors last year. And then he's just going to go just.
Yes. No, 100%. But I will say this. This is one of the big things that I will say. And I want you guys to chime in on this. The Kawi has always been more on that rear end. It's always been a more rear steer bike. And Chase has been a very front end heavy guy. So I think that bike might cater to balancing out for him, because if the bike is already kind of to the rear and it's a rear steer bike, then it'll take and balance it out if he likes the front end feel. So if it's kind of tilted to the back and then he gets it towards the front, I'm hoping that the bike will balance out for him and be the right combination for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the Kawi is a really stable motorcycle. It's a big old motorcycle. It's like a boat.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
But that's what he needs. We need stability.
We need some damn stability,
bro.
Yeah.
Stability. So we're not
That's
tucking front and doing all kinds of weird shit. Because the big thing with Chase that you guys both know, he rides the bike so heavy. Oh my gosh. Talk about fucking just into the corner.
It's like
You know
he's
what I
about
mean?
to snap the freaking rentals off the thing, dude, sometimes, you know?
That's what I mean. And the bikes, sometimes the bikes just can't take it and they wind up and they go, "Wow," and they just spit them out, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Anything else on the 450 class, boys?
Nope.
Cool.
Shout out Justin Cooper, P2 first moto.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Yeah.
He did really
that's
good.
right. Hey, he did really good because that gap stayed pretty close.
Yeah,
I was
it
very
did.
impressed by that. Like, he did not.
Do you
like,
think he shot his wad a little bit in the
there-
first moto?
Oh, without a doubt.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Had to.
And then a terrible start in the second one.
Yeah.
Terrible start.
Which is weird.
I don't,
But
I think he ran a paddle first moto. Second moto didn't have a paddle.
Or he did no paddle second moto.
No paddle second moto, so that's why he was ass off the start.
Let's put it this way, bro. If I'm outdoors nowadays, I don't run anything but a paddle. I don't care if it's Hangtown. I don't care if it's Colorado. I'm just going to run a paddle. It's not
got
bad.
you for the start.
It's not bad. Yeah, you have to.
I don't think it's bad enough to make that big of a fucking difference.
It's not. Especially with how chewy the tracks are, where the ruts are.
Oh,
You know, it's like, yeah, on the decel where you're flat and you're going into a corner, it is. But when you're accelerating, dude, most of the dirt's so chewy because the guys are just hammering it every lap. The dirt's turning over.
fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
All right, let's move on. Stan Benson Racing. If you need any ETS fuel or Pirelli tires, you know where you go?
Stan Benson.
Stan Benson Racing out in Bakersfield. They will drop ship or ship ETS fuel to your house. So if you guys want to order ETS fuel, make sure you go to Stan Benson Racing. They are at all the local tracks and local races in that Bakersfield area. So if they're there or you're in that area, make sure you guys use Stan Benson Racing. Support the show. Joe Shimoda, Juju Beaumer, J-Mart. We got to talk about all these guys. First guy I want to touch on, unbelievable weekend from Joe Shimoda. Wow, talk about a turnaround.
But he's just a big question mark because he won the first Supercross race. Obviously, I mean, we've seen what happened with his finger and everything, and that took way longer to heal than anyone thought.
Yeah.
Right? But can he keep doing this?
I think he can. And the reason that I give him that is because the way that I watched him, and it was very similar to Jett on how it was the whole day after that big crash in the morning, which usually would totally jack him up, kind of like Anton said. He was just moving forward, you know, and you don't see that from Joe very often. He kind of seems more reserved kid. It was aggressive. And how do I get to the front? I don't give a what numbers on that bike. He just wanted to the front all day. And I think they got a really good bike outdoor. I think Honda has an unbelievable bike.
Do you think there's still a power deficit versus the Star Yamaha?
I think everybody's at a power deficit from Star Yamaha. I think it's within one or two, you know what I mean? But it's not fast. It's just not.
It's not a lot, but there definitely is some power deficit.
I talked to Lars Lindstrom and after the race, and he was like, yeah, we had a lot of questions answered and the bike is better than we thought. We were worried. We were really worried about like the new airbox and how the motor would perform outdoors. But he's like, yeah, I think we're at a really good spot and there's things to improve on. So he was stoked. And the way he was talking to me definitely seemed like he was excited to move forward, which I mean, of course you would be after what the boys did. I mean, everybody on the team was good. You got any thoughts on Joe, Anton, or are we going to move to Juju?
Just that was a big rebound from the start of the morning because within the first 3 laps of the first practice, he Supermaned off the single in turn 2 and then had his bike run over by like 5 people. And Honda had to come push the thing off because it ripped the left side grip completely off. And then like Joe's thing was done. And when that happened, I was like, oh no, like how does it get going? So for then Joe to bounce back like he did, showed a lot of fight, a lot of really, really good speed.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, wow, there's something to go with off there. But I mean, like, we're going to get into it. Did Hayden really give them everything? Or, like, are we going to grade everybody on the Hayden curve because of, like, what he could or couldn't have done yesterday? That's
Dude,
a big question.
there's no way Hayden gave you everything you had. It did not look like that was hangout Hayden at all. That was he was so mature. And I know I just glaze Hayden so much.
Hayden Deegan Glazer over here.
Oh, 1,000%. But I will say this, from what I seen, it looked like he had a lot of maturity, a lot of patience, just let the race come to him. And then when he felt like he was getting warmed up and he felt good, he just put it down because he has so much confidence right now. He just knows he has all those guys. I mean, that was not, I would say Hayden was at 88 to 90% yesterday. What do you guys put him at?
Yeah, I would say around there, just because, like, what I don't understand with him is why he doesn't practice more starts.
I know.
I mean, I'm sure he does.
Maybe he just sucks at starts, which is really crazy because he's not a big guy, and that Star Yamaha has a whole bunch of motor.
How many of those, like, weirdo rides are we going to have from him where he makes dumb mistakes, where he crashes and has to come back through the field?
I don't know, but it's going to be less and less.
However many Brian tells him to have. However many Brian's like, yo, it's not getting exciting. The motherfuckers are getting bored.
Brian's like the boss in the freaking top of the semi, just writing the script like WWE.
Bruh, Hayden, I know you don't like it, but you're going to have to crash because we need
some fucking roost today, dog.
You're going to have to crash in the first corner because we need some 40th to first shit like Chase Sexton last year to bring the hype to the YouTube channel.
Just tip it. Just tip it.
Just tip it. Just something.
Stall your bike, dude.
Dude, but that's like the thing that it's like, it's so crazy because we're talking like that, but we're only talking like that because we know Hayden could pull some shit off like that. He's that good right now. The cocky little punk, dude. He's that good to where he can do kind of whatever he wants.
I think he's going to get humbled soon.
Oh, he will.
I think he'll be humbled sooner than we think.
No. By who?
Hymas, bro.
Hymas, bro. Hymas is going to humble him, and then he's going to come back next week, and he's going to destroy him.
We need somebody to just chirp back, dude. We need a good, like,
dog. They do, and he doesn't care.
No, they don't, bro. They do not. I told Ty the other day, if Hayden Deegan was chirping at me, talking shit to me on the press conference, I would turn over and talk shit right to his face. 100%. I would be on his Instagram. I would be on his girl. I would be on his fucking bike at his team, be fucking saying what up over the rig, take him out and practice. I mean, dude, you gotta level up to this kid.
I would for sure piss on like the door handle of his rental car.
Something.
Video it, put it on Instagram.
Yes.
Anything.
Petty. Because
something. Even if he's still beating me, I'm still gonna live rent free in his head. That's what I'm saying. These guys need to chirp back, dude.
Dude, they need to so bad because Hayden has just belittled every guy on this track, dude. He has them owned. I mean, podium? Look at what he did to Levi Kitchen, bro. He destroyed him.
God.
No, I wasn't standing on the podium.
Okay, after 250 Moto 2, they have Sean Strickland come up, monster guy, whatever, to do the thing. And dog, just both of them are like, yeah, we love trolling people. We love fucking with you. We love being in your head. There's nothing you can say to us that is going to rattle us. And like, with both of you saying who's going to humble Hayden, dog, nobody's going to humble him. I really only think the only person that can humble him is himself. And I don't want that to happen because I think the only way that could happen is if he crashes and gets fucked up. And like,
which he will.
I'm very
he will.
He will.
It's
inevitable and it sucks. Like it sucks. But what you said about like, hey, he rode at 80%. I'm glad he rode at 80% because there was a couple times on Friday during press day where I was like, hey, homeboy, please back it down. It is not a 20-inch bicycle. It is a fucking 250 motorcycle. You are gonna get hurt. Like, please calm down because you are gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I'm gonna say is like, why not just chirp back anyways? Why not just be a menace?
That's what I'm
like
saying,
Johnny,
dude.
my dog.
Hey Ray, you know I've been asking about that for 2 fucking years,
bro. Like my dog Johnny, right? He'll just be a complete asshole. Say if he pisses in the house, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna whoop his ass.
Yes, totally.
Right?
Yep.
He's gonna look back at me, middle fingers up, and piss again in the house.
Yes.
So why not be a Johnny to freaking Deegan,
dude?
Like, get in his head. He can still beat you every weekend, but still get into his head somehow.
Yes, because there's one thing that I've learned in life. Dirt bikes is only one piece of it, bruh. It's one little tiny itty bitty piece, bro.
What are you gonna tell your kid if he's getting bullied in school?
Yeah, punk his ass back, dude.
Punk his ass back. He can
better.
Because I'll tell you right now, the more you let Deegan do it and get away with it, the more he's gonna do it. And
it's only gonna build your brand.
It's like a big brother. It's like a big brother, bro. If I beat up on Ty, I picked on Ty his whole life, and then one day he got big enough and beat my ass, and then guess what? We weren't fighting no more.
No,
it was like, bruh, it wasn't best friends, but it was like, hey, bruh, no punches to the face, bruh.
The body's only.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, it got to a level where it was like, oh shit. You a big dog now, so I better like chill out.
Yeah.
But nobody's going to do that to him. All these, they're just, I don't know.
Like, I understand they can't catch him right now, right? So it's kind of hard.
No, but I don't care.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't care either. I would still try to get into his head. Be like, hey, bro, I know like you're whooping my ass on the weekend. I don't care. Like, I'm still going to like.
Yeah. Just Cooper Webb him. It's Cooper Webb's the perfect example. Not as fast as Chase, but just completely would mentally him because he would just do shit to him all the time.
Yeah. Imagine Chance Hymas just walking up to him and staging, pressing the start button on his bike and just holding it wide open and just staring at
him. Bro, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way Cooper Webb would have ever let Deegan do that to him in his career. No way. No way, dude. I would have loved to see those two at the same age chirping at each other. It would be the sickest thing ever. Now, let's move on to Hymas. Hymas pulls off the fast lap, gives Deegan shoe fly, get off my podium. And then Deegan says on the broadcast, he's like, that shit was a shitty lap anyways. Did you see that? He said it on the broadcast. But so Hymas like flicks him off the podium. I do think that Hymas does have the potential to be able to beat Deegan this outdoor season. Now, is he going to beat Deegan more than Deegan beats him? No, but that's something that they got to figure out. What do you guys think are the keys to getting Hymas to that next level? Because right now it just seems like he's way up and then he's way down. And then he's way up and then he's way down.
Just eliminate the mistakes, Like,
yeah, but how do you do that though?
I think he just has to be up there, get good starts, and run that pace more.
Reps.
Yeah, reps. Because he has no reps. He has no healthy reps.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's fucked up all the time. He's always hurt or always coming back from something. I like Chance a lot. But
I do
he just needs some healthy reps. And when he crashed like that yesterday, I looked up and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Of course, like there it was, like inevitable. First 15 minutes of the first moto of the year, it's not a catastrophe. Like dog, to that point, banner morning for Chase. Get the fastest lap time like that at Homeboy's home track and do all that. And then even give him a little shot and I'll let you know that pissed Hayden off. That's all.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Good.
Yep.
Piss him off.
Love it.
I like it.
J-Mart, so bummed. Damn. I was really voting for J-Mart. Like, I'm like, yes.
Bro, I honestly, I was hyping him up.
We're going to get there. I mean, he'll get better. It's not even a question. J-Mart's just got that dog in him. Yeah, 1, it's Paula. 2, J-Mart's got that dog in him. And like, he's one of those guys that knows how to get it done. He's going to go back this week. He'll come next week and get it done. Let me see.
I mean, dude, he hasn't raced in a long time. I mean, he was doing VIPs all winter. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he got 21st overall with, let's see if I can see, with a 2020. So,
that's like a Phil Nicoletti
point yesterday
result.
Go ahead.
Oh my God. Poor Yeah, poor J-Mart. Because he worked too, dude, from dead last to get 1 point. 1 point. Just eating roost, taking it. There was a moment in Moto 2 where it was Forkner, him, and Jordan Smith just dicing it up in the 250 class. And I was like, yo, is it 2016 or is it 2025? What's going on?
Oh, that's funny.
Damn. Yeah.
I love it. All right. What were the other highlights of the 250 class? Juju really rode phenomenal. He rode better than I thought.
Surprised the shit out of me.
Surprised me too. Where do you
Tom
guys?
Vialle podium.
Oh, Tom Vialle podium.
Like,
not surprised
Nobody
though.
thought
Found
that
a
was
way.
happening.
I
Found
thought
a way.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I thought it was happening,
Yeah,
but
but
it's
like-
like so uneventful. Why is Tom Vialle just
Yeah.
like the most uneventful, dungy guy? Where it's just like, oh shit, he got third.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
You know what I mean? Like, oh damn. I mean, it's a cool way to get it done. No drama.
I do like, I listened to some of the post-race stuff. I do like his interview. He's a good interview, I feel like, sometimes.
Yeah, he is. He's very knowledgeable, and you can tell he's a mature guy.
Yeah.
He knows what's going on, but he's a champion. He's a champion. He's done that multi-time champion, right?
Yeah.
Supercross champion now. I just don't know. You know, we talked about it. I don't know if what he's doing now is going to get him the money that he wants on a 450. And what he's doing now, he ain't going to be on a KTM. He ain't going to be on a KTM 450.
Yeah, but if he's not on a KTM 450, where does he go?
HEP, club, where's
Yeah, but where's the room there?
Ferrandis, what's the team? Phoenix Honda.
Phoenix Honda.
I mean, dude, one of those guys will make room for a guy like Tom Vialle.
I mean, dude, you have to give him a shot for a year.
I don't think so. Not with the rumors I'm hearing about Tomac going to KTM. I already told him that. I already told everybody that.
They'll make room for him.
No.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
What do you mean?
Nope. No.
Bro, they will make room for
Not a
Tom
shot.
Vialle.
No.
Tom Vialle has rode a KTM his entire existence.
I don't care, bro. If you got Eli Tomac, that's going to take up 2 bikes. That's going to take up 2 spots.
You think KTM has 2 bikes and that's it?
I think that they're on a tight budget, and I think Tomac
they ain't selling bikes, so they got bikes. They got bikes, bro.
Dude, let's put it this way. If they sign Eli Tomac, do not expect to see Tom Vialle on a 450 on KTM. That's just my opinion.
Well, yeah. Well, they'll move him to Husky.
Opinion.
They move him to Husky.
Do they even have a Husky program? They got one guy.
They will have something. They will have something.
Oh,
whether it be
they
a gas
did sign
gas.
Malcolm, right? Malcolm went to Husky. So they got Malcolm and RJ right now.
Yeah.
So maybe.
And I believe one of the 250, does one of the 250 guys have another 250 deal?
Yes. Cochran, I thought, had the 2-year deal. I thought Cochran had an extra year.
Is that right, Anton?
And that's a bummer for Ryder. I don't know. If that's not Ryder D, that's a bummer because Homeboy's coming back from a very gnarly injury. And like, that's
I thought he did
bit,
really good.
Like,
yeah.
I would love to see. To lose part of his intestines, damn.
I would love to see Pro Circuit Kawasaki just fucking clean house and just start fresh.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna
get Ryder D.
We're gonna get into that in a minute. Anton, thank you so much for being on the show, bro. We really appreciate it.
I just wanted to say one thing. That was an all-time day. Like both of you boys were there. Super pumped to see you guys. The weather was great. That was awesome. And so that was, like Paula is, we all know, not the funnest national to go to, but like 70 degrees. You feel the weather, like you feel the ocean breeze go through the valley and all that. I mean, that's the horniest national too, because all the SoCal chicks are out.
Oh my
But
God.
It's gonna be so goddamn hot this weekend at Hangtown. 100 on Friday, 90 something on Saturday. So get fucking ready for it.
The MXGP guys, dude. Your guy.
Welcome to MX. I mean, welcome to outdoors, bro. Hangtown,
Yeah,
100
A-Ray,
degrees.
Those Swedish
Glad
dudes
you
are
guys
gonna
signed
be freaking.
Valentine Guillaume too.
Yep, we did. We did. Last minute deal.
With that assist.
Wow.
Top 10.
Kid.
Top 10, baby.
Unbelievable.
Right?
Yep. Well, cool. Thanks, Anton. We really, really appreciate
See you,
it.
boys.
We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for being on the show.
All right, later.
Later, Anton.
Heck yeah. You know what? Peace.
Have fun with them babies. See ya.
Late. You too. Bye. Oh man, gotta love Anton. Let's see if we can get Uncle Ty on the phone. He's not in this week because he's out camping, but he's like, dude, call me in. Call me in,
Is
bro.
he gonna have service? Where's he
missing
camping
out.
at?
I don't know. He said he has bad service, but we're gonna try to call him.
Yo.
Uncle Ty!
What up, bro?
What up, guys?
Bro,
Dude.
I don't remember the last time I even seen Ty. It's been a while.
It's been a while, dude. He's off the map. You've seen him on the show. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. He's incognito, bro.
I
Up
like
in
that.
Fresno.
Bro, that's what happens when everybody fucking grows up and gets kids and get married. Fuck, dude. People disappear.
Ty's dropped 4 F-bombs in 2 seconds. All right. Well, let's get into it. The next segment is brought to you by Chirbis. If you want the best plastics in the game, the best fitment, check this out, too. I'm going to throw it on the screen. Brand new handguards. They have a new vented handguard that was ran on Max Volan's bike this weekend.
Big
which
handguard guy.
Yeah, which is really cool. Definitely awesome to see Chirbis bringing out new products and new cool looking handguards. I've always loved handguards since the Travis Pastrana days when he was running them. New handguards, check them out. They're going to be coming out in a few months. Go to chirbis.com if you need some plastics, best fitting plastics you can get. Big L, big dub. I'm going to start with mine right off the bat. Big L, Levi Kitchen. Oh, wow. What a shitty weekend. Like,
Bro, so bad.
I feel so bad for Levi, dude.
Because it's like he gets a bad start and it's almost like he can't bridge that gap. Why?
Bro, I don't know. And we were talking about him on the show. Like, oh, yeah, Levi Kitchen last year podiumed. Levi Kitchen's in it for the championship. He looked unreal at Daytona. We're going to get Levi Kitchen back. This is going to be the battle, mono e mono. Levi Kitchen's really the only one that can mess with Deegan. Bro, Levi wasn't even on the map, bro. And then his bike blows up.
No, it was his chain.
Oh, it was his chain?
Yeah, his chain snapped.
Chain snap. That's why we got you on the show, A-Ray. Chain snap. We got the right information. Then I see him after the race, just chilling, happy, go lucky. I'm like, bro,
I would be pissed.
I would have been out of there yelling at my chick, like, this guy suck. I'm the worst. I just threw away the championship.
You should have been on the side of the track with my water right there.
Just pissed for no reason at my chick. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
dude, yeah.
just
We've all been there. We've all done it.
That's what I mean. Just depressed. No, he's chilling there after the press conference in his black Jeep, just nonchalant.
Showed
like,
up there with that hair, bro. You gotta show out if you're showing up with the hair, bro.
Bro, if you got a painted haircut, you better show up on the podium. There's no other. I mean, let's put it this way. This is what I heard from the whole situation with Levi Kitchen and Mitch and all that stuff. They said if Levi Kitchen does what he's supposed to, he's allowed to kind of be where he wants to be, right? In Florida. This is that moment where he might need to be in California.
He might. Hey, brother, welcome back to Glen Helen.
Yeah, you're going to be at Glen Helen Tuesday and Thursday every single week until you're back on the podium.
Hey, you know what's jacked up?
What?
So usually after the first outdoor race, they rent the track out on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
They don't fucking prep it. They just water it.
Yes.
They're all there, bro.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. We're testing. Mitch is there that day. He didn't miss this one. He is going to be there on Tuesday testing with Levi Kitchen. Like, bruh, what's the deal? And you know what's messed up too? Levi Kitchen looked good in the videos before the year.
Oh, it looks great.
Like, dude, I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to have a battle this outdoor season. He is just off the back of that thing at Moto Sandbox, just everywhere pinned. And then he comes out and just bad starts. And like you said, why can't he bridge that gap?
I don't know. It's just a big question mark. I feel like Hymas could. I feel like Deegan can for sure.
Deegan, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Juju
did it.
That's just something that he's going to have to work on. Like, hey, bro, start like 30 seconds behind. Have everybody, whoever's at that freaking sandbox, dude, just get in front of you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just eat roost for 30 minutes.
Yep. All right. Well, that's my big L. Big dub has got to go to Benoit Paturel, bro. Unreal week. And I know it's biased because it's Twisted Tea. But dude, for a guy to come over like that, and then we talked about his results, he hasn't had very good results lately. Mm-hmm. He crashes, like 38, 39. He's had good results in the past in MXGP. Like, he's really good. But he definitely had some up and down moments, right? And for him to come out and go 11.9 for
Not
him,
bad.
bro, on a bike that he
No
said
time
he
on it?
rode for 3 weeks. He hasn't ridden a Suzuki, I don't think. He rode Yamahas over there the whole time. So just gets on a Suzuki, comes out to a track he's never done, on a format he's never done, and comes out and gets 11.9.
Bro, that Twisted Tea Suzuki is not bad. Not bad.
If you can do that, it's barking.
Barking.
And we just lost Ty. We'll give him a call back. But so what's your hey Ray, what's your big L, big dub?
Big L is going to be, hate to say it because I like the kid, Austin Forkner. What, bro?
Dude,
like,
your call has been forwarded to an automated.
We'll see if Ty calls us back.
It's been rough. It has been rough. He's in one piece, though. It's good.
That's big.
Do you think 2026, he rides the entire year, doesn't miss a lap, keeps doing what he's doing, he has a shit year, right?
Yep.
This year. Just takes his medicine this year, everything. Comes out next year and just crushes it on the Triumph.
I don't think he crushes it, but I think we see a guy that's going to be on the podium and top 5 every week.
Next year could be a good moneymaker for him if he puts an insurance policy on himself.
Yes, that would be huge. That's what you need to do. You need to go to Lloyd's of London. You need to put an insurance policy on yourself. And cash out. Because I really do agree with you. I think this is just one of those years where he's got to take it on the chin. And it's like, dude, look at Austin. We know you're fast. We know you've been fast. We know what you could do.
He's like a magnet to the ground, though.
Yes, but that has been his problem for so long. And you know this just like I know this, right? Is like he's gotten hurt, come back, tries to ride over his head, gets hurt again. And he tries, when you're on pro circuit and you're on those big teams, you're expected to win. So you have to come back with no time on the bike and then come back and win and not crash and do it week in and week out. And it's like, it's really not fathomable unless you're Jett. You know what I mean? And it's like Jett, Austin has done that so many years in a row where he's gotten himself into such a hole that now he has to build himself up, and he's got to take one on the chin and take one to his ego and just grind this season out to where he can get that base back up, maybe try to do some supercrosses overseas right before, and then come back next year and just expect only top 5s. Like, start out with top 5s, couple podiums next year, and then the year after that, then go for a championship.
By that point, he's like, what, 33?
Doesn't matter. Martin Davalos, bro.
Might as well, I
guess.
guess.
Is he 33? No way.
No, I'm just saying, but you're talking about like 2028, he'll be, I mean.
I'm saying 2026 is next year.
Building year.
27, championship contender. That's my opinion.
I mean, he'll probably be 27. He'll probably be about 27.
Yeah. I mean, but that's fine.
That's fine.
As long as you're still in the 250 class and you can't point out, what's the deal, dude? Paycheck's a paycheck.
Right?
You make 500
you know
grand.
Good well, either one of us, we would have just stayed down.
Yes.
100%.
If I have a shot to make 500 grand to win a championship, I don't care what class it's in.
No, me neither. No.
Hell no. Okay, big dub for the weekend.
Man. 250 or 450. Just either one. Any one of them?
Anyone. What's your big
I'm gonna go
Juju.
Juju. I'm gonna go Juju just because he was such a question mark coming in.
And he's an O'Neill rider. You know what I mean?
No, he's not.
Oh, he's One Industries.
Yeah. Bummer deal.
It is what it is.
We lost him.
Yep. It is what it is.
But I mean, like, you think about it.
I feel like it's so close. How did I think that? Why did I think that it was O'Neill? Because
he was last year.
Looks the same. Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, he was last year.
Okay, so he's One Industries now. Okay.
But like, you think about it, right? Last year, you look up his results, it's like 7, 10, 12, 15. He had one flash at Budds Creek before the restart where he started up front and he ran third for like whatever until the restart, right?
Yep.
But that was the only thing that we've seen from him outdoors. We haven't seen 2 motos together, 2 good starts.
Yeah.
You know, and I had this question mark of like, hey, is this a West Coast thing? Because he is from Havasu.
I know. That's what we talked about too.
But I mean, from what I hear, you know, and I heard him on like some post-race stuff too. I forgot who it was with, but he hates Paulo. I mean, who doesn't hate Paulo?
Yeah, I mean, Paulo's
Especially, well, no, I love Paula on a Tuesday.
Yes.
Paula on an outdoor national, scary.
Dude.
Scary.
It's dangerous. Dude, the rocks, like they pull a rock out of the downhill like this big.
That big.
Just after a moto, just pulled a rock out this big.
Right?
And that's the essence of that track. I will
and
say
then they pull it out, they just leave the hole.
No, they didn't leave the hole. But you know, I will say this. This was probably the best Paula overall prep that I have seen. And one of the things that they did do that I think was better, worse for the fans, but better for the riding, they kind of flipped the track up and raised the track up. So it had like a good layer of dirt to work with instead of just being on the ground in that hard base.
Yeah.
You know, so it was a lot more chewy throughout the track. There were still hard pack spots, but for the most part,
they did good with the track.
Yeah, they did good with the track.
Yeah.
I would agree with you though, with the big dub. I didn't know what to expect from Juju. I really didn't.
Big question mark. I seen him on Friday. High confidence.
Okay.
High confidence.
Okay, so where are we going to know if this is the real deal? Like, because we're not going to know at Hangtown. Hangtown's probably better for him.
Southwick.
Southwick? What, is that the third round? What's the third round?
I mean, it always goes 2 California rounds and then to Colorado, right?
Oh, yeah, Colorado. Yeah. And then after Colorado, we're not going to.
High Point.
All 3 of those. Yeah, so we'll know at High Point. If
High
he
Point.
can get it done, if he can get a podium at High Point, then he's here to stay.
Yeah.
Outdoor. It doesn't matter. He's good to go. Because these first 3 are like California boys city. Yeah. You know, if you can get it done at the first 3, that's pretty much the California spec. And then that High Point one.
Hey, did you like Hangtown?
I never really had a preference. It was kind of just okay for me. But you know, you have to think too, I didn't ride that much outdoor. I
thought you did TPJ like 2 years in a row.
No, I did. I've literally only done Hangtown. I've raced Hangtown once because the year that we did the COVID year that I did the full year, and I didn't even make it at Hangtown because it was like my second pro year or something like that, and I didn't even make it. And then I only raced 1 full year of outdoor, which was the COVID year, and that was pretty much it. Ty was the one who was really fast at Hangtown. Dude, yeah. Like, dude, just a bullet. But yeah, I practiced a lot at Hangtown. It's a good track. It just, they overwater it and it just gets really slick.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty much it.
They did not overwater it the last outdoor I did. I think, 2023?
Uh-huh.
It was Dust Bowl.
I'd rather have it like that. All right, let's move on. California Coast Plumbing. If you need any commercial plumbing, any kind of plumbing needs, your shit is clogged up, call California Coast Plumbing, baby. Hit them up. They're in Anaheim. Yep, that's what I'm saying.
Shit happens like 3 times a week, bro.
Love it. California Coast Plumbing, been representing motocross and sponsoring me for a long time. Sponsors a couple other riders as well, so they've been in the sport. Make sure you support those guys if you can down in Anaheim area. In the trenches, I'm gonna go with Jorge Prado. We talked about it in the last show. It is gonna be very hard to dig yourself out to be in a fight for this championship with the round 1 he just had.
Do you still see him as a championship contender?
No.
So you don't even put him on the map, right? Like,
no.
So you're putting him in J Coop, AP.
No.
You don't even put him in J
No,
J
J
Coop?
Coop, not even in J Coop's category.
So you're going to put him in like, Barsh is not even racing. You're going to put him in like in Joey Savacci, Cooper Webb.
RJ Hampshire, Jorge Prado.
So you wouldn't even put him like, say if there's A, P, and C, right?
Yeah.
So A being Jett and Eli and Chase Sexton.
Yep.
B being.
I'd say I'd put him right at the bottom half of B.
Okay.
I'd put him at the bottom half of B. Because I would say Justin Cooper right now, I'm putting in the top B, almost A right now.
You don't see him winning a single race this year?
Oh, yeah, I do for sure. Justin Cooper?
No. I'm talking about Prado.
Jorge Prado? No. 1, maybe Southwick.
I don't even think he wins the sand race. Are you kidding me? Have you ever seen Eli ride there?
Or Jett?
Oh.
Where's he going to win? Where's he going to win? That's what I mean. That's why you're laughing, is because it's going to be tough.
If he wins anywhere, I would say High Point or
High Point's
Unadilla.
a good one.
High Point or Unadilla.
Oh, Unadilla
Both of those
might
two,
be good.
MXGP style, natural terrain, little rocky, little slick, you know, more European-esque. But that's it.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's nothing. I think that Jorge Prado has the ability. If he won MXGP, there's no way he can't run with Jett and Eli. If he's an MXGP champion, he can do it. But right now, with dude, 45 seconds off of Jett and Eli.
Like, how are you almost a minute off? Like, yeah, you got to think. You got to think, bro. Like, hey, I got to go back to Club MX this week, and I got to be a minute better for 30 minutes.
So whatever my fastest time was, whatever my fastest moto was, I got to be almost a half a lap better than what my full sprint is.
You have to be, so sprint for 30 minutes, you have to be over a second faster
every
for 30
lap.
minutes.
No,
every
way more than
lap.
that.
45
way more
seconds.
than that. There's only 15 laps. That's 3 seconds a lap faster.
Fuck,
a
my
lap
math is off, bro.
Way off. Bro, that's 3 seconds a lap faster every lap Jorge Prado had to be on Jett and Eli's level and not pass them.
Because that's one thing. You can ride that pace, but
then you gotta
pass them.
Or get a whole shot, which is supposed to be his specialty.
No, that ain't it no more, bro. Welcome to the Jett and Hunter show, bro.
But that's what I mean. It's right now, this is one of those things where it's like, we talked about it in the pre-race show. It's like you have to, now where he's at, he's just in a building year.
Do you give him that excuse of like, hey, this is your first time at these tracks. This is your first time doing the schedule.
Kawi ain't.
Kawi's
not the way they operate. They're not.
No. They're like, hey, we're busting our ass to get you comfortable on this motorcycle. You better go out there and perform. I don't give a shit what the schedule is, bro.
Bro.
Right?
Bro.
I don't know.
Bro, Jorge Prado, 7.6. 45 seconds out, second moto.
All right, can you do this? So like lap 7. Can you look at lap 7 on there and see what his lap time is versus Eli and Jett? Just go to like lap 7, like in the middle.
Let me see if I can even pull it up. I'll try. Results.
I mean, dude, it's in there. We used to look up segment times like it was our job, bro.
Yeah, I know, but they did they have like a whole new thing. Yeah, I don't. They don't have it broke down like that no more. Not on here, at least.
Bummer. Somebody's got that
class
info.
Moto 2.
Somebody has that info.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so lap 7 for Jett and Eli.
That's when they were just tooth and nail.
Cooking. 2:18s. 2:18.3.
Bro, that was like qualifying laps.
Yeah. Jorge Prado, 2:23.
5 seconds?
He did get down on the next lap to a 2:22 and then a 2:21, but he went up to a 2:24, a 2:26.
Oh, we need to get the bike better. We need to get the bike 5 seconds better. We need to get the bike 5 seconds better, guys.
Bro, Jett ran a 2:18.1 on the 13th lap.
Hey, bro, you're already on a factory motorcycle, right?
Yeah.
So you got to think, you have to get 5 seconds better on a factory motorcycle.
Dude, Jett, ran 2:18s and he was at 2:23, 2:24, 2:26.
So you don't give him any like, hey, he was hurt. Hey, like it's a new bike.
No, I give him he was hurt. But how do you come back from 45 seconds? How do you even fathom how
yourself to win?
Yes,
and
that's what
winner.
I'm saying. Like I could see Jorge Prado getting a podium this season. You know, like pulling up on the podium. I think he can get there. But to be a championship contender this year and beat Jett after what we just seen between Eli and Jett, it's going to be hard for Sexton to get back.
Sexton ain't even got a lap time, bro.
What about Cooper Webb?
But I don't think that's his objective.
Yep.
I think Cooper Webb is thinking longevity SMX.
Oh, without a doubt.
100%.
Or he's like, thinking,
hey, bro,
where am I at? Is this going to be easy? Should I get my thumb fixed? That's what we're all thinking he's thinking.
I mean, I think Cooper Webb, he's a winner. He loves to race.
Yeah.
No, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Hates losing. But this outdoor season, he kind of knows in his head, he's like, hey, I haven't rode outdoors in a while.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to use this as a base builder to hone in on his craft and to be there for SMX.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? I'll just take my beating. I'll get 5th.
Yeah.
And it'll seat me in 10 times better for the SMX, and I can come out fucking swinging, bro.
Yes. And I think he will. All right, well, let's finish the show up. Last segment, X brand, does the zebra keep his stripes? Do you want to go with somebody? Do you have somebody in mind, or do you want me to take this one?
I'll let you take it first, and then we'll see.
All right. I got to go. I know it's simple. And it's like right in the front door, but I got to go with Jett. Does Jett continue to look like this, or was this the Paula just, hell yeah? Is that it? Is this 1-1 all season? Are we perfect season? Is he just that fucking good?
It's hard, dude. It's hard to bet against Jett. Every time we've said, hey, he's going to come in unprepared, he just went 1-1.
Because you know the other thing, right? We talked about all the Hangtown shit with Eli and Chase. Before Jett crashed and did that little weird move that he did where he tried to double the 2 farthest rollers off of a baby kicker,
he was
still
the
the fastest.
And leading the race.
So, like, we're talking about all this Hangtown, like, all these guys are better. But then you can't forget that Jett is still last year leading the race.
And I can guarantee you that he's not going to make that same mistake again.
If anything, he'll actually jump it.
I'll hit it faster this time.
And make it work, though. Yeah. Or he'll really analyze the situation and be like, that's just something that I'm not going to do.
Yeah. All right. So well, how about this?
Okay, hit me.
I'll go Chase Sexton. Does Chase Sexton
keep those stripes of just absolutely demolished for the rest of the season?
Yes.
Oh, dude. Here's the hard part. I really like Chase Sexton.
I do too.
I've always been like,
I'm a big Chase Sexton fan.
I'm a big Chase Sexton fan. The conversations that I have with Chase Sexton have always been good. He's a really nice guy. I just like him. He's an American. I vote for American guys. Like, that's who I cheer for at the races. Eli Tomac, Hayden Deegan, Chase Sexton. You know, I'm buddies with Kenny. You know, we're obviously not best friends, but Kenny's super cool guy. Jett, super cool.
Yeah.
All the rest of them are cool. But, dude,
we lean more towards the American guys.
Thank you. Okay? Chase
100%.
Sexton, great guy.
I want Chase Sexton so much to be Captain America.
Thank you. But after this weekend, I'm honestly, in my mind, wondering if he's going to show up to fucking round 2. I'm wondering if we see a press release that says Chase Sexton will be out for the next 5 rounds or indefinitely, kind of like a Jason Anderson thing.
And then what does that do to his future?
I think that
because Supercross just ended where it didn't go his way.
Yeah.
Right. And then for him to go out first round of outdoors, how it did.
Yeah.
What does this do for his future, his legacy, everything moving forward?
I don't know. I mean, it's definitely something we're all going to remember. It's something that's going to stamp. You know what I mean? Oh, you remember the year Chase didn't get it done in Supercross and then crashed out. But, you know, with that being said, I don't remember any of that stuff with Jeremy McGrath. I don't remember who Jeremy McGrath battled. I just know Jeremy McGrath won a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that long ago. So does it matter when you're...
Damon Bradshaw, he threw away the championship to freaking clean out Homeboy.
That's what I mean. Like, you don't even remember who he cleaned out.
Probably
you don't
not.
remember the name. That's what I'm saying. So, like, does it really matter that much in the grand scheme of things?
No.
If this is what happened, this is kind of the grand scheme of things. This is how it affects it. If he did sign with Kawi, which we don't know, and we're not going to know for probably who knows how long, next couple months, whatever. If he does make this move, decide to take a break, recover from whatever injury he sustained, clear his mind, try to get back going, move to Kawi or stay with KTM, regroup, and then make a big push for SMX, we all forget about it.
So you're saying he's going to show up on a different motorcycle?
No, I don't think he can. I don't think he can. You know what I'm saying? I think it would be crazy, but like kind of like what Webb did. But I think he has to stick with KTM through SMX without a doubt. No questions asked. But I think if he resets, regroups, gets, okay, I have to finish this season with KTM. I know I'm tired because you know how it gets, bro. Like, dude, when you're done with SMX, you're exhausted emotionally, mentally. And I think that's what we've seen from Chase this weekend.
Dude, even
Supercross. That's what I mean. I think the pot bubbled over when that crash happened, and you just seen an overly emotional, tired Chase Sexton that is fed up because he's had too much emotion, too much loss from losing this championship. Dude, it's a heavy weight on you. You know how it goes. Dude, when we're at the end of Supercross, we are bitching and complaining and tired and your body's sore and you're done. And then on top of that, Chase Sexton has all of last year where he was one of the only riders that did 31 rounds of SMX last year. He's one of the only guys. So now he did 31 rounds of SMX, then came and did a full Supercross championship, which was one of the emotionally taxing things I've ever seen in my life for him. And then he comes out to round one, misses bike setup, has a bike malfunction, and I think the pot just bubbled over. And I think
that was the first gate drop he hasn't been on in a very long time.
That's what I'm saying. And I think that at this point, maybe you have to look at it like the NBA looks at it, right? And you go, dude, outdoor championship, we got Tom Vialle, we got Juju, we got AP. Right now, our star player is tired. He needs to be benched. He's healthy. Great. Let's bench him for 5 rounds. We're going to scratch outdoor. Let's try to get our bike set up, get ready for the second half of outdoor, and really make a world championship SMX push. I think that right now, to me, is the smartest thing to do. Bench your star player, make his ass sit, make his ass recover, make him feel better, come back. What do you think about that?
That sounds like, sounds like a great plan. I don't know if Chase Sexton wants to do that.
I don't think he does, but I think
it needs to happen.
I think it needs to happen too. I think he just needs a break.
Because you know how us racers think, right? You want to be there to beat your competition. You don't want to give them the upper hand. You don't want to give them that confidence, right?
Yeah.
Anytime I was at home on the couch, I would see somebody racing, doing whatever, having a great result, getting a top 15, or making a main event, and I'm just sitting there on the couch. Fuck, that's just making him better. That's just making him better. It's giving him more confidence to just snowball the effect.
Yeah.
Like, I got to get back there. I got to stop that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And two, we've all been raised to be like, if we miss something, we're not tough enough. We're the P word. You know what I mean? It's like,
that's not the case. Like,
no, we're demoralized because we feel like we feel so bad because this sport is so tough that if you don't show up for one thing, you feel like you're letting everybody down and yourself.
Yeah.
And sometimes, dude, with the way that things are laid out with SMX, we might need to look at things at a little different angle because this ain't the same as it used to be.
Yeah.
It's not Supercross outdoor 4.5 months off. It's now Supercross outdoor SMX World Championship, Australian Supercrosses, Paris Supercross. Like, it's all year long.
All year long,
And we're risking our lives every time we hit the track. I think we nailed it.
I think we did too.
You got anything else?
I'm just stoked that you just invited me up here, dude. I'm just stoked to be here. It's badass. I had so much fun.
Dude, I'm so glad you were here, Alex. Like, seriously, dude.
We had a great time in 2019, didn't we?
Dude, we had a great time every year.
Every year.
Like, not every year. Not the year in Oakland where my dad DQ'd you for running a different bike. That's
my bike blew up over the triple, bro. And then I come down. We done swapped bikes. I rode my practice bike, and then your dad just protested me. You got to protest another privateer. Everyone in the bits was pissed,
dude. Oh,
I was so mad.
Oh, bro, yeah, that was.
You were pissed.
I was pissed because I wouldn't have done that, and my dad My dad literally just went to the AMA and was like, dude, get your gear on. I'm like, dude, I didn't make the fucking night show. What are you talking about? And literally goes to the AMA behind my back, protests you, comes back, and fucking, I guess we're racing. And I don't know what's going on because I'm like, I guess I'll go down there and be an alternate or whatever. And then all of a sudden, when I'm down there, all this shit starts happening. And then after the race, I'm just getting text on text on text on text on text. And I'm like, well, fucking pops, bruh. It's fucking wild.
Fucking Supercross, man.
We did have
so many
some good
great
times.
memories, so many great battles.
Dude, our balls getting burned off in San Diego. You remember that one? That was sick.
Yeah, I know.
We did have a lot of good battles too.
Mm-hmm. A lot of good races.
A lot of good races. A lot of good times with Kyle Chisholm.
Hey, the Twisted T bike's so much better than the first gen.
Bro, do you remember? Like, I don't even know. We're probably gonna get in trouble for saying shit like this, but like,
no,
dude. There was times where we were like on Olin's and it was so bad that we were like calling people trying to get our suspension figured out. We went to Supercross and you remember the Bill's pipes wouldn't even work and we had to like switch.
I ran it. I ran the Bill's pipe at the first round. You guys, I don't think you guys did, but I did.
Yeah, but dude, because like this was the whole situation that happened and it was like, it was bad for everybody. It was like Bill's pipes, we got to the race and the pipes weren't passing sound. And then they made this gnarly one and like manufactured it to pass sound. And it clogged it up so much that the bike was almost like a 250, dude.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I remember.
And you made it work. And then that was the day that we kind of switched to Yoshimura.
Yeah.
Like, and all the stuff that we had to go through to get that team to where it was at. You know what I mean? It's like,
remember how bad Dustin felt when we were up here at Castillo?
oh,
And he's like, bro, everyone's doing this triple. You should do it. I was like, all right, watch this.
oh,
Just, bro.
Oh my God.
Bikes just split in two, dude.
I
We were there testing, dude. Sweden was like, all right.
I felt
wait for
so bad for you too. Cause like, you know, it's like coming to the homies. Yeah, you crash your brains out. And then too, you're like, you know, obviously we're homies, but we always wanted to beat each other.
Yeah.
And like you're at Castillo's at like my home track where I'm just fucking absolutely shredding like effortlessly.
Yeah, dude, you have
know what
every line just dialed, bro. Like you've done 1,000 laps on this thing.
A trillion laps, and
bro.
poor A-Ray's just coming in hot.
Dude, coming in hot, dude. I'm doing my sprint laps. I'm off the pace. I'm like, I got to do this jump, dude.
Do you remember Chiz, how slow he was that day?
Dude, that was the day we were testing. He's like, well, yeah, we're not getting anywhere. He just went,
he went and did some jumps on the property.
Yeah, he just like, yeah, dude, I'm out. He went to the outdoor track. He's like, yeah, we're not getting anywhere. These dudes flew all the way from Sweden, bro.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, we're not getting anywhere. I'm just going to go hit jumps, dude. Dude. And then he just comes out and just smokes our ass.
I know. And too, like, yeah, he was like jacked up. I think he was like right out of knee surgery or something like that. You remember that?
Yeah.
Like could barely ride.
Bro, he was old then.
Yes. Could.
Oh, dude. Good times.
Good times for sure. Well, we appreciate all the fans tuning in. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate all the love at the races. It's been like, it's truly been unbelievable how many of you guys have been coming up to us and how the channel is growing. You guys are absolutely amazing. Tell your mom, tell your friends, tell your wife, tell your grandma, tell your grandpa. We appreciate you guys spreading the words about Track Talkers. Like I said, we will be getting some hats back in stock. Thank you guys again for selling those hats out in 2 days. That was truly unbelievable. If you guys haven't, like, subscribe, make sure you guys tune into the channel. This outdoor season will be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so I'll make sure I get those up as well. It's going to be a little bit less crazy because I'll have some more time during the outdoor season, so that's really cool. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. It's season 2 of Track Talkers. Peace.